Normal brains scan environments. INFJ brains decrypt them. Standard cognition notices surface details. INFJ perception reconstructs entire timelines. Conventional thought follows well-worn paths. INFJ thinking cuts into hidden territory, a mental frontier most will never map. These aren't just poetic comparisons. They're supported by neuroimaging and scientific observations that show INFJs process the world in fundamentally different ways. Their wiring bends perception, reshapes context, and shifts how reality feels from the inside out. Today, we'll uncover 12 scientific reasons why the INFJ brain operates unlike any other. And the final one? It reveals why many INFJs are prone to profound emotional exhaustion, sometimes to the point of existential overwhelm. Before we get to that, we start with the very core of what makes INFJ thought different, the way information enters your mind in the first place. Before we start, please hit the like button, comment, and subscribe so you won't miss any of our weekly deep dives into the world of personality types. If you are looking to gain a deeper understanding of yourself and your personality type, click the link in the comments to take our favorite free personality test. Number 1, the intuitive processing powerhouse. Most people absorb information. You take it apart and rebuild it at the synaptic level. Studies cited in the background research indicate your temporal lobes fire up to 40% faster when decoding subliminal cues, your brain catching whispers of meaning others never notice. Those sudden insights that feel like lightning bolts, they're not coincidences. Your neural wiring runs parallel processing streams, and neuroscience links this to atypical gamma wave activity during complex pattern recognition. But that speed doesn't come free. Rapid parallel analysis creates constant overflow, and the cost is heavy mental fatigue, living in a mind that never stops translating raw fragments into hidden frameworks. Next, what happens when that same system doesn't just decode thoughts, but turns emotions into living echoes inside your own body? Number 2, the emotional radar system. Your brain doesn't just notice emotions. It replicates them inside you. Mirror neurons in INFJs magnify feelings into bodily sensations so real they can feel like your own. When someone near you is hurting, your pain centers light up in response. Neuroimaging cited in the background research shows very similar activation patterns, whether you experience grief firsthand or simply witness it in others. That overlap explains why a crowded room can drain you faster than silence ever could. Your body catches microexpressions most people ignore: a tightened jaw, a wavering voice, a fleeting glance. Each signal sparks visceral reactions before you consciously register them. The cost? Chronic fatigue from metabolizing unfiltered emotional data. And it's not a choice. According to the research, your mirror neuron-driven system has less emotional buffering, leaving you open in ways others aren't. That's why many INFJs need solitude after social events, to give overstimulated emotional processing centers time to reset. Next, the unique pattern spotting ability that makes those insights feel almost prophetic. Number 3, pattern recognition mastery. People often call it intuition. In truth, it's your brain assembling invisible blueprints at a speed others rarely notice. While most stare at scattered pieces, your default mode network quietly arranges them into whole landscapes before anyone makes a move. Research cited in the background materials reports high predictive accuracy in pattern-based tasks, meaning you see outcomes with uncanny clarity long before they unfold. Some data suggests this skill can be observed early in childhood, as your mind tracks the most minor shifts in tone and timing, while others look past them. If this is resonating, consider subscribing. We unpack far more of these hidden traits ahead. The wait comes in watching outcomes play out like slow-motion disasters. You see what's about to collapse, but others don't. And when no one believes the picture, you carry that burden quietly. This ability to connect fragments depends on another gift, the focus that lets you hold a thought so tightly it can reshape everything around it. Number 4. Deep focus capabilities. Your prefrontal cortex doesn't just focus, it locks down with surgical intensity. Brain scans show heightened activation during complex tasks, giving you the ability to cut through mental labyrinths that exhaust most people. Research cited in the background materials also notes faster transitions into deep focus, allowing you to reach a flow state quickly and sustain it for hours without drifting. That's why you can spend marathon sessions weaving tangled ideas into sudden clarity. But interruption doesn't just pull you out of thought. It hits like neural whiplash. The jolt is physical, like being torn awake mid-dream. And if you've ever wondered why even brief disruptions feel painful, it's because your wiring makes seamless focus fragile. This is why uninterrupted blocks of time aren't just helpful, they're essential. Next, the same sensitivity that gives you clarity of thought also means the world's smallest sensations can strike like thunder when others barely notice. Number 5. Sensory processing sensitivity. Your thalamus doesn't filter the world the way most people's brains do. Instead of muting sensations, it amplifies them. Fluorescent lights that many barely notice can feel piercing, and the texture of scratchy fabrics can grind against you until it's unbearable. fMRI research cited in the background materials shows this heightened relay system turns ordinary environments into constant tests of endurance. Small details that vanish for others, a flickering bulb, a faint background hum, hit your nervous system with sharp immediacy. This heightened perception gives you exquisite clarity, but also leaves you vulnerable. That's why INFJs often need quiet recovery afterward, letting the nervous system step down from overload. Next, the mental lie detector that won't let you ignore deception. Number 6. Authenticity detection skills. You notice truth cracking at the edges long before others do. When words and microexpressions don't align, your anterior cingulate cortex flags the inconsistency like a warning signal, registering the break even before your conscious awareness catches up. This isn't guesswork, it's an automatic system. Studies cited in the background research describe how you cross-reference tone, posture, and fleeting microexpressions all at once. Your neural lie detector is really a simultaneous processing of multiple cues working in real time. That's why a forced smile can feel almost painful, as if the body itself resists the false note. The result, you can feel alone in a crowd because you see what others smooth over. Next, how your forward-looking mind builds entire futures, complete with sensory detail, long before they arrive. Number 7. Future-oriented thinking patterns. Your mind doesn't just plan steps, it runs full-scale simulations. Where most people consider one option at a time, your default mode network projects layered timelines, rehearsing scenarios almost like neurological VR. Studies cited in the background materials report distinctive patterns of prefrontal activation when INFJs imagine possible futures, mapping cause and effect chains longer than most brains can sustain. In daily life, this shows up in those moments when you say, "I knew this would happen months ago." fMRI research connects that uncanny foresight to heightened hippocampal activity during prospective memory tasks, the brain rehearsing events before they unfold. The burden comes when you warn others of preventable outcomes and get dismissed as overthinking. Next, the strange logic your brain uses to solve problems nobody knows how to name. Number 8. Complex problem-solving abilities. When a challenge lands in front of you, your brain doesn't chase it step by step. It circles it from every side at once. While most minds choose a single route, yours integrates convergent and divergent thinking simultaneously. It's a kind of mental double vision that lets you see both the detail and the horizon at the same time. Research cited in the background materials points to strong connectivity between networks handling logic and intuition, allowing seamless integration where others struggle to balance the two. That's why your solutions often surprise people. You reframe problems entirely, finding hidden leverage points that linear thinkers never see. But this gift carries a weight. What feels like illumination to you can look like an unnecessary complication to others. And that can leave you standing apart, holding answers no one else is ready to accept. Remember, this isn't weakness. It's one of your rarest strengths. Coming up, the cost of that brilliance becomes clear when your energy system collides with the demands of real human interaction. Number 9. Social energy management systems. For you, conversation isn't casual background noise. It's metabolic work. Research cited in the background materials finds higher energy costs during social interactions for INFJ brains, with activity levels running far hotter than average as your mind processes every microexpression, pause, and hidden meaning in real time. That intensity creates a rhythm few notice. You light up in connection, dopamine surging to engage fully. But then the crash arrives. Serotonin systems strain under the weight of constant emotional labor, leaving you depleted in ways others mistake for withdrawal. Small talk feels especially draining, not because you dislike people, but because your brain registers it as biologically expensive. Recognizing this cycle matters. Give yourself structured recovery time. It's not indulgence, it's balance. Next, how your mind handles incoming information, and why the very filters that protect others leave you wide open to overload. Number 10. Information filtering mechanisms. Your brain's filtering gates are more open than most. Instead of screening background noise, your mind admits nearly everything at once. fMRI research cited in the background materials shows your prefrontal cortex is less effective at suppressing irrelevant data, so flickering lights, ticking clocks, and whispered voices all press into awareness at the same time. Where the earlier sensory sensitivity was about raw intensity, this is about cognitive load, too much information rushing in without priority. Some studies suggest a higher proportion of environmental data reaches INFJ awareness, creating constant mental triage between meaningful patterns and distracting static. The paradox? That flood of input, exhausting as it feels, also fuels the sparks of creativity waiting just beneath the surface. Next, the hidden networks weaving those sparks into fully formed ideas while you sleep. Number 11. Creative connection networks. Your mind is built to link fragments that most people leave scattered. Instead of keeping thoughts in separate boxes, your default mode network bridges distant regions, creating connections no one else expects. Research cited in the background materials reports greater novel associations during unstructured thinking, a hallmark of INFJ creativity. For you, ideas often arrive whole, like finished paintings dropped into your awareness. The gift feels miraculous until you try to retrace the steps for someone else. Explaining nonlinear ideas to linear thinkers can leave you isolated, even doubted. But misunderstood creativity is still your power. Those leaps define your identity, shaping how you see possibilities others can't. Next, why your inner editor never sleeps, turning brilliance into self-scrutiny. Number 12. Perfectionist processing loops. Perfectionism for you isn't a choice. It's neurological architecture. Research suggests elevated orbitofrontal activity during self-evaluation, which feels like a constant internal quality check running in the background of everything you do. As noted in the background materials, this region shows higher activation in INFJs, making flaw detection automatic and unrelenting. You don't just see errors, you feel them, like grit under skin, impossible to ignore. That's why you rewrite the same message until dawn, chasing an invisible standard only you can see. And the cruelest part? That scrutiny targets you more than anyone else, draining energy not from the work itself, but from the endless audit looping behind it. If this resonated with you, hit like and subscribe. It helps these deep dives reach other INFJs who need to hear it. Stick around. The following video explains why INFJ love feels like a full throttle surrender. And here's the truth. Those battles inside your head don't mean you're broken. They show a brain wired to move through the world on a different frequency. These differences don't make you flawed. They show why life feels heavier, sharper, and more charged for you than for most. Research cited here helps explain the exhaustion, the flashes of insight, and the struggles in crowded rooms. It's a rare cognitive style that carries both weight and wonder. Which of these brain differences surprised you most, or helped you feel most understood? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you want to continue the journey to understanding yourself or an INFJ in your life, click either of the following videos, where we continue to unlock the secrets of the INFJ personality type.